Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. This is Glossy Philosophy. My name is Jansen Binman. Make sure that you are subscribed to this channel. Give this video a thumbs up because today we are doing an everyday winter lift your mood kind of makeup, so stay tuned. I've already washed my face and done my skincare, so let's get started by neutralizing the face. First, I'm going to take my Bobbi Brown Corrector in light to medium Bisque, grab a little bit of that on my ring finger and just very gently bounce that on top of any area where I'm seeing some kind of discoloration, which usually in the winter is around my eyes. I mean, it's really all year round, but for sure around the eyes because maybe I'm not getting enough sleep or I just maybe got over a cold, anything like that. You can also bring it around your nose because I know for women, when it's that time of the month, we usually get a little bit of discoloration here, or again, if you're just coming off of a cold. Next thing I'm going to do is take Black Treacle from Lisa Eldridge and tightline my eyes. So just very gently lifting up that upper lid and getting that black right on that upper waterline, and it just creates a little bit more of an open eye and a little bit of a fuller lash line effect. Next, I'm going to go in and start on my complexion with the skin tint from Lisa Eldridge in T6. Just about a pea size, but a little bit goes quite a long way. This is a really nice, movable, I'm not going to call it a tinted moisturizer, but it's like one step up from that. So if you do want the skin kind of peeking through or you just want a lighter formula, I cannot say enough good things about this. It's great in the winter, it's great in the summer. It's great for touch-ups if you are in a show and you need to just kind of do a quick touch-up during intermission. It's fantastic. I'm going to take my 55 and just make sure that there are no harsh edges. I can bounce my brush. I can use it like a paintbrush, anything that I need to do in order to make sure that this is actually seamless on the skin. Next thing I'm going to do is take Phoebe from Lisa Eldridge, which is a liquid silk eyeshadow, and it is very, very silky and it's really, really lovely. It's a great base. It's just a little bit darker than Painterly, but it just has that really nice medium brown. Now, of course, you can go in with the doe foot applicator, but I'm just rolling that applicator onto my ring finger and dispersing it between the two so I can really have a little bit more control over the product. So this is going to act as my eyeshadow base, and it's also going to act as kind of like a concealer corrector all over that lid, and you can see that just gives a little bit of definition to that eye area. We're going to leave the eyes alone and keep going with the complexion because when we're thinking about everyday winter skin or just kind of lifting the face, I think the skin is really where you want to go. You want those bright cheeks, you want a glowy skin, and it's not necessarily so much about an eye look or a lip look. It's just a really nice cohesive full face look. So let's fill in our brows and darken them up just a little bit. Wherever you see some sparse spots, for me that's on the top of my brows, that's towards the end, and then just a little bit at the beginning of each brow. I'm barely touching the skin, and this product a little bit goes a long way. So if you feel like you are running out of your eyebrow product really quickly, you're probably pressing too hard. We had, when I worked at Sephora, people would come in after like 1 or 2 months and say, I went through my product so fast. And unless you're filling in an entire brow, it really doesn't take that much pressure on the skin to create a faux hair effect. So lighten up on the pressure that you're putting on your skin and your product will last much, much longer. The next thing I'm going to do is actually jump to my lips because they are feeling a little bit dry. So I'm going to take Petal from Lisa Eldridge and Petal lip gloss as well. And again, when you are creating that cohesive look, it's really important to have your lip color done so that you can see where you need to go with your cheeks and your bronzer or your sculpting, anything like that. So I'm just very quickly lining the lips and then filling in. This is not about creating a bigger mouth. It's just about giving the lip gloss a little bit of a base so that it will stay a little bit longer. I also have a clear lip balm on right now, which is kind of dispersing the product as well. I can always take my finger and make sure everything's kind of smushed and blended in. And it just gives a nice soft pink color without being too cotton candy pink. So again, this is also Petal. And you can see that even though I'm wearing darker colors, already just having a little bit of pink on the lips and having a little bit on the eyes is starting to brighten up my complexion and evening it out with the skin tint. So now we can go in with our concealer, and then we will do a little bit of the Hollywood Sculpting and Pillow Talk for blush. So lots of cream products. If you are dry, cream products are the way to go. If you need your makeup to last a really long time, then layering a cream down first and then putting a powder on top. For example, putting down the Hollywood contour wand and then going in with a powder bronzer if you're doing stage or you just have a really long day ahead of you and you need to be looking your best, then that is a great, great way to go. So right now I'm just tapping in that concealer with the #1 Lisa Eldridge brush. Again, just making sure that everything is nice and seamless and talking to each other. So we have a nice completed complexion, and now we're gonna go in with some finishing touches. So that contour wand, I just have a little bit on the tip of that applicator. I don't want a ton, and I don't want to squeeze out a ton either. I find that the product comes very quickly. You just want to make sure if you're using it for multiple days in a row that you kind of know where you are, otherwise you're going to get quite a bit of product on the skin. It's always a good idea to squeeze it out on the back of your hand or on a palette or something else so that it takes the brunt of that initial squeeze. And I'm just using the Beauty Blender to bounce that product right into the skin. Again, creating a really nice, seamless look. Like I'm just naturally a little bit more chiseled than I am. We're going to take a little bit of that Pillow Talk, do a few dots or smudges, and then I'm going to add in some elevated highlighter and Crystal Nebula and work that really easily, really gently into the skin as well. Again, I'm barely touching the skin. It's just really quick patting motions. And then going back in with the Beauty Blender. The Beauty Blender will pick up any excess that is there that doesn't need to be there. It's a great tool to have in your toolkit, especially when you start playing with creams and liquids. So the complexion is done. I'm feeling nice and rosy and a little bit more awake than I was before. So let's jump into some eyeshadow. We are going to be using the Bella Sophia, but we are going to be using the top 2 colors instead of the darker colors that we used the other week. So first I'm going to grab my 203 into the lightest shade. I'm going to saturate my brush. I'm going to start right on the ball of the eye and blend that out to the outer and inner corners, going all the way up to that socket line. But I'm not going to bring it up any further. Putting something lighter on the lid really helps to open up the eye, and because it has light reflecting properties, that also helps to just kind of wake up the complexion. Anytime you can add some glow to your complexion, I think it's really helpful if you're feeling a bit down or you feel like you need a burst of some kind of color on your face if you find yourself wearing more neutrals during the winter especially. Now I'm going to take my T-Bird crease brush into that burgundy brown. This is a nice kind of fluffy brush, so it's not going to put down too much product. I'm going to use the side of my brush to place the product and then the tip of my brush to bring that where I want. And I'm just focusing on that outer corner, and if I need to, I'll go in with a different brush and blend out a little bit more. Grabbing my 217, just blending out those edges. Burgundies and pinks obviously work really nice together, and I feel like this chocolatey burgundy brown is really nice with not only the color of the year but also with neutrals. It adds a little bit more dimension to your overall look, including your clothes, and it's kind of an unexpected twist on the everyday like brown neutral tones that we're using. I find for me personally, if I'm wearing a lot of neutrals, then I need and want a little bit of color on the face. If that's a red lip or if it's kind of playing with some pinks and burgundies in a subtle way with the eyes and the lips, just something to add a little bit of difference in the overall look, because your makeup can be a really powerful tool with making everything nice and cohesive. So now we are ready for eyeliner, and I'm going to start with Ground Coffee from Lisa Eldridge and just massage that into my lash line and see if I want to do some kind of kitten flick or how I want to end it. So just very, very gently, little dashes, little strokes, little dots, whatever you want to call it, whatever feels comfortable. Making sure I'm getting right into the lashes. And then I'm going to take my Sigma brush, go into that dark chocolate brown, and just go right on top of that and make that look a little bit softer. And just kind of do a little kitten flick on the end. I think just that little bit of a kitten flick at the end is plenty for this look. So now I'm gonna grab my mascara, and this is the Overcurl. And I just didn't put it into the casing because it seems like too much for me. So this is just the refill that I bought a while ago, and I'm finally at the refill stage, and it actually works pretty well. Just using the refill, I don't need the casing. Now we are ready to powder. I'm gonna take my 108 into my butter powder from Fenty, and just really lightly tap that in anywhere through the center of the face that I feel like is maybe a little bit too glowy. But again, it's winter, so I don't want too much powder happening because for me, my skin is already a little dehydrated and a little bit dry. So I'm going to basically just leave the outer parts of my face alone and hit through the center of the face, and that is the tutorial. Thank you guys so much for watching this winter face makeup tutorial. I saw something really similar on Lisa Eldridge's channel from a very long time ago, and I thought that's brilliant. We need a little bit more color, a little bit more life during the winter, especially if we are wearing those blacks and other neutrals. I do fashion videos every Wednesday, beauty videos every Friday. Make sure you are following me on Instagram and watching the shorts in between for more before and afters and lots of outfit inspiration. And I will see you very soon in the next one. Bye!